Hello and welcome to lesson number 7 of Learn to Play Violin with me. Make sure your violin's tuned and let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start the 15-minute timer like always. Let's do this. Our last lesson left off with us completing number 19 on page 8 of the Essential Elements Violin Book 1. Number 19, Rolling Along. We had just finished that. I promised in the last lesson that we would go back and learn bow builder number 3 earlier on the page to kind of get us ready for when we start holding the bow in a few pages. So bow builder number 3, it says bowing motions, swinging out. Put one finger inside your right elbow and swing your arm as shown. So put one finger of your left hand inside your right elbow. It looks like you keep from your shoulder to your elbow still and you swing out like this. So try that a few times. So this is going to mimic the movement that our right hand uses when we start using the bow. Okay, easy enough, good. Let's look at number 19, Rolling Along. We'll review that one before moving on to the new stuff. So we're still in guitar position, the scroll almost at shoulder level. This is flat against our stomach violin. And we are still playing on that D string, the second one down. Rolling Along has a starting on an F sharp, which by now I'm sure you remember is 2 fingers down. D, E, F sharp. It should sound like that. Let's try Rolling Along. Remember that this one's 2 lines long, so without adding any beats or pausing at all, you move from line 1 down to line 2, and we'll finish up at the end of line number 2. Here we go, Rolling Along. 1, 2, ready, play. F sharp, E, D, E, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, D, E, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, E, F sharp, E, D. Great job. Let's try it one more time. I won't sing this time, so we're just playing violin. We'll try it a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, play. Great. Let's look at page number 9. At the very top, the yellow box says workouts. Place your instrument in shoulder position as shown on page 3. Then practice the following exercises with your left hand. All right, well, first we need to go back to page 3 because we have not done shoulder position yet. So we'll see what that's all about. Page number 3, shoulder position. Oh, hey, Gary. Gary's going to join us today. Make yourself comfortable or not. Okay. Shoulder position. Step 1, we're going to be sitting. Sit on the front part of the chair. Done. Step 2, turn your left foot to the 10 o'clock position. Slide your right foot back. Adjust your position to place more weight on your left foot. Got it. Step 3, hold your instrument at eye level, parallel to the floor. Curve your left hand around the upper bout, which if you look on the page before, you'll see the upper bout is this top curve closest to the tuning pegs here. Hold your instrument eye level, curve your left hand around the upper bout, okay? Find the end button. The end button is right here with your right hand, got it? Bring the instrument down to your shoulder, okay? We don't have a shoulder rest on the violin yet. I'm hoping that they teach us how to put that on whenever we get to playing in shoulder position. But for now, we have no shoulder rest on. The end button should be near the middle of your neck, okay? Turn your head slightly to the left and place your jaw on the chin rest. The chin rest is this guy here. Okay, end button, middle of my neck, turn, rest my jaw on the chin rest. Be sure the scroll does not point toward the floor. So the scroll is going to be pointing straight out. Okay, all right, so we have left hand is curled around the upper bout. Our chin's on the chin rest, I think. And we have the scroll facing out and our right hand found the end button. Okay, Everybody keep that position. Let's turn to page 9. All right, to do the exercises. Finger taps. Tap your fingertips on any string. Practice in different combinations of fingers. Okay, so we're going to hold here in the picture, we're holding here with our right hand, so we're going to tap with our left hand because the left hand is obviously the one that covers the strings, so that makes sense to practice tapping. Okay, pull-aways. Pull your left hand away from the side of the neck, so this is the neck here, while keeping the thumb and fingers on the instrument. So we're going to practice pulling away. Pulling over our left hand, our physically left hand going away, I guess, a little bit. I guess this is just working on like wrist flexibility of like making sure, so whenever you play different notes, your hand is in a different position. And strumming along, strum the fingers of with your fourth finger while swinging your elbow under the violin as shown. All right, fourth finger is your pinky, so we're going to reach all the way over to the G string to strum. G, D, E, A, E. Try it again. So we're going to kind of start with the elbow swinging to the right a little bit. And then as you move up the strings, you're going to gradually swing the elbow to the left. Let's try it one more time. So these exercises, it seems like they're just practicing us kind of getting comfortable and flexible with our wrist and our elbow to get us ready for when we start playing in shoulder position. All right, cool, great. But for now, back to guitar position. Number 20, Good King Wenceslas. It's always nice to have a song that you recognize because that makes it easier to tell if you're doing it right or not. So it looks like for the first time we're actually playing on 2 different strings. We're going to play on, we're starting with G, which is 3 fingers on the D string, and then we're moving up to an open A, because you can see that 0 above the A, which means open. So we're going to actually be flip-flopping between these 2 strings. There's also a bracket underneath. It says, keep fingers down when you see this bracket. The reason for that is, if you're playing with 3 fingers on G, then you move to an A and you go right back to the G. There's no need to lift up your fingers because then you have to just reposition and find them again. It's harder to play it quicker if you're kind of readjusting when you don't need to. So whenever we play that A, we're keeping our fingers on the D string in the G note position so that we can go right back to it quickly. So let's start on a G. We also see that we have a repeat sign, so we'll play it 2 times through. We're going to play it super slow, since this is the first time that we are switching strings. So remember that when you're playing with your right thumb, you have to move down to the A string. All right, let's start on G. D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so we'll position our fingers there. Let's try it super slow, see how many notes we can catch. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 A, G, G, D, rest. E, D, E, F sharp, G, rest. G, again. G, 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 A, G, G, D, rest. E, D, E, F sharp, G, G. I remembered a couple measures in to make sure that my wrist was straight, so make sure your wrist is straight. All right, let's isolate that first measure, the first 5 notes actually, so the first 4 notes in measure 1 and then followed by that G in measure number 2. Let's just play that part since we're to practice switching between the strings. So we're playing G, 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 A, G. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 A, G. Let's try that again. Ready, play. G, 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 A, G. Good. Make sure your fingers are not lightly touching the A string, because then the A string won't be able to vibrate and it won't make a sound. So if you're not getting a sound out of that A string, that's probably why. So make sure that they're curved so that they're not touching any other string. Let's try it one more time, those 5 notes. Ready, play. G, 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 A, G. Good. Let's try measure 2 isolated, since we're taking such a big leap going from G to D. So it's all 3 fingers followed by open. Just measure number 2. Ready, play. G, G, D. Let's try that again. Replace all 3 fingers. Ready, play. G, G, D. Now let's put those 2 measures together, starting at the beginning, playing through measure 2. Ready, play. G, 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 A, G, G, D. Great. All right, let's try the whole thing again. Remember the repeat sign, so we play it twice through. Ready, play. G, 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 A, G, G, D, E, D, E, F sharp, G, 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 A, G, G, D, E, D, E, F sharp, G, G. Great. Let's look at number 21, seminal chant. We have some leaps, moving by leaps, right? Those are 2 notes that are not in order. That would be called by moving by step, like an E, then an F would be a step, or F, then a G would be a step. First measure has us going from G, which is 3 fingers, to E, which is 1 finger. So we're moving by leap there. Or, yeah, here we go. Skip, moving by skip. I guess a leap would be like a really big one. So here we go. Let's sight read this. There's a repeat sign, so do it straight forward. No A's in this one, so we're staying on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. G, E, G, G, E, G, F sharp, E, D, E, 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 G, G, E, G, G, E, G, F sharp, E, D, E, E, E. All right, good. Let's try that again. I had my pointer finger up too high on the string, so the first couple E's were a little sharp. Sorry. Here we go. I'm learning too. Let's try it again. D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, all my fingers are in the right position. Straight wrist. Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, play. G, G, E, G, G, E, G, F sharp, E, D, E, 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 G, G, E, G, G, E, G, F sharp, E, D, E, E, E. Great. Let's move on. Number 22, essential elements quiz, lightly row. Let's check it out. So we're starting on the A string, then right away moving back to the D string with 2 fingers to make an F sharp. Then G, E, E, good. Then we're moving measures 3 and 4, moving up by step, which means we're not skipping over in between. And remember that bracket at the bottom means from the F sharp in measure 3 all the way to the F sharp in measure 5, which is on the second line. We're keeping our fingers down because it looks like we're moving from the D string to open A, but we don't need to lift our fingers from the D string when we play the open A, because playing the open A doesn't require any fingers. So for ease of moving back and forth between these 2 strings, we can keep our fingers on the D string. All right, here we go. So we have, let me make sure that our fingers are in the right position. D, E, F sharp, F sharp. Two fingers, it should sound like that, F sharp. Even though we're starting on an A, I'm still positioning the F sharp there so that my fingers are ready to go. So whenever I do play that F sharp on the D string. Here we go, number 22. Let's sight read it. Oh, 15, wow, that went really fast. Let's try this one time. Here we go. Starting on the A string. 1, 2, ready, play. A, oh, sorry. My fingers were accidentally touching the A string and it didn't come out clearly. Sorry. Let's try it. Ready, play. A, F sharp, F sharp. G, E, E. D, E, F sharp, G, A, F sharp, F sharp. G, E, E. D, F sharp, A, D. Wow, that was tricky. We are definitely going to start there next time. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you at our next lesson.